Hey guys, welcome back to episode 24 of my Road to 120 Slayer series. It has been a while since I last uploaded to this series, but I was just finishing off archaeology, remaxing, so I am now planning on really getting back into this series, and I want to finish off 120 Slayer. In today's episode, we do have a lot for you guys. We have 8 more Slayer tasks, one being a Reaper, and we also end up getting a Dragon Cluster task, which of course we go do ED2. So anyway, we're going to jump right into today's video. So starting off with our first task, we end up getting 236 Abyssal Demons. This is a nice, pretty quick AFK task that I like doing. We are going to be using my scythe here. As you can see, I am using the Invention Cape. I don't have the Max Cape at this point, but I did end up getting it back. And that was the main reason why I sort of took a bit of a break from this series. I just wanted to get that Max Cape back. So now that I do have it again, we are going to be grinding Slayer, getting to 120. After this quick 10 to 15 minute task, we end up making around 1 mil. Also got some gems in my gem bag that aren't included in the price check. We also got 65,000 Slayer XP, so not too much, but it was a pretty quick task, which is why I like doing it. The second task we ended up getting was Elves. We're going to be killing 167 of these. This is a really great Slayer task. They do give some pretty good Slayer XP, but they're also kind of AFK, and the money is really, really great. You can make around 6 or 7 mil per hour from these, and it's really consistent as well. They drop a lot of rune salvage and coin drops, which of course just add up a lot. And then they also have a lot of noted drops like noted herbs, which are pretty expensive as well. Overall, this is a really great task that I always enjoy doing, and I really do like that it is a bit AFK with the aggression potions as well. So from this task, we ended up making nearly 2 mil, not quite. We also got 100,000 Slayer XP. This task took around 15 minutes to complete, so it's pretty efficient work. Now, since the bank was getting a little bit cluttered and kind of full, because especially with all the new archaeology artifacts in there now, I don't really have much room, so we are going to start using my high alchemy machine, and we're just going to alch some of the alchables. This is probably something I would do anyway, because you do make more money alching them, things like the onyx bolts, and then also the rune salvage. So I'm just going to continually put these in, and we'll collect the GP and just add it to the coin pouch for this series. Now here we are, we're going to be collecting the loot. As you can see, we made quite a bit of cash here. That's going to make the cash stack look pretty nice. We're going to get over 100 mil cash from the series already. So we are going to jump into our next task. We ended up getting 92 Vile Blooms. This was a task that I liked a lot early on, especially when I was going for the Blast Diffusion boots. We ended up getting a pair during the series, by the way, if you guys didn't already know. But those boots, they're worth nearly 100 mil now, so that is the prize drop that you are going to be going for. We are going to be killing the liverworts. Liverworts are really good because they do give 3,300 XP per kill. So you do get a lot of Slayer XP from these, but the GP isn't great, especially if you don't get the Blast Diffusion boots. Sort of just their consistent drops. It really isn't worth it. And also, Vile Blooms, they do tend to take a little bit longer to kill. This task took around 45 minutes to complete. As you can see, we made around 1.7 mil, so not worth it in terms of GP per hour. The Slayer XP is pretty decent, though. We made 307,000 Slayer XP. That's pretty good to add to the total. Now, we are going to jump into our next task. We end up getting 82 Ripper Demons. This is actually a new task, my first time doing this. I took it off my block list because I remember when I first tried it, I just hated Ripper Demons, but they are really great money, especially now with the binding contracts. So as you can see in my inventory, I do have 50 binding contracts that I got from a Tetra Compass reward. So we are going to turn those into the Ripper Demon binding contracts. They're worth around 140k each right now. So you can see we're going to make a lot of money because you get 1 per kill. And I do have 50 of them, so a lot of money is going to be made off of that. Overall, Ripper Demons, they are a pretty good creature to kill. I did find it a little bit difficult. They do hit really hard and really fast, so that is something you need to watch out for. They also do have a few mechanics. When they die, they'll spin around in circles and hit you rapidly, so you do need to walk away from them. And then also, when their adrenaline bar fills, they will jump into the air and essentially KO you. Now, I actually was hit by this twice. One, I was signed, and the second time I did die. So I did have a death throughout this task. But really, you just need to pay 100% attention when you do have a Ripper Demon task, because they are not AFK at all. So just need to pay a little bit more attention and shouldn't have a death. Overall, it was a pretty good task. Took around 30 minutes to complete, and the loot was pretty good. So as you can see, we ended up making around 9.6 mil, 7 mil coming from the Ripper Demon binding contracts. So if you do have a Ripper Demon task, make sure you have those binding contracts, because you're just going to make a ton of money from them. The binding contracts, they only cost around 40k to make too, so I'm going to make some more, and next time we get a Ripper Demon task, I'm definitely going to make sure I have enough to fill the whole task. We also got 223,000 Slayer XP, so as you can see, this Slayer task is a really great one. I should have been doing it throughout the entire series, but anyway, we are going to be doing them now, and hopefully we can get some pretty good drops and make a lot more money from it. Now moving on to our next task, we got a Nihil task. This is going to be a pretty nice change of pace from the Ripper Demons. Nihils, they are kind of AFK, they aren't really strong at all, especially if you do have an overload. You can just attack these smoke Nihils and their mechanic is useless, so that is what I decided to do. Now Nihils, you can also make a lot of money off of them. I did include it in my most recent money making guide. They are extremely good GP per hour right now. The Nihil pouches, they're listed at around 200k each. The prices do vary a little bit, but they are right around there. So that is really high for Nihil pouches, and you get them pretty constantly. You'll get the Avianchi talons to make the Nihil pouches. So it is a pretty good moneymaker. From this task, we ended up completing it in around 30 minutes. We ended up getting quite a few Avianchi talons. Now, the Blood Nihil, it was the most expensive, so we converted them all to the Vampire Fangs. And as you can see, we made nearly 4 mil just off the pouches from this task. Also, we got around 2 mil from the regular loot. So you can see we made about 6 mil from this 30-minute task, maybe 40-minute task. But it was a really great task if you're looking to make money. Now the Slayer XP, not really great. As you can see, it's only 58k. But we mostly did this task for the money. And the next task we ended up getting was a Dragon Cluster task. This was super lucky because I was planning on doing Elite Dungeons 2 anyway with my friend KJ, so I was super lucky to get the Dragon Cluster task. I am adding this to my preferred list because it is insane XP per hour, and also I get to do a little bit of bossing as well, which is pretty nice change of pace from always doing Slayer. So as I said, we ended up doing Elite Dungeons 2. My friend KJ and I duoed it, and it took around 3 runs to complete this task. We ended up getting 142 dragons, so it was a pretty long task, but I really do love Elite Dungeons, something I'm planning on getting into a lot more once I do finish 120 Slayer. And we did it pretty well. No deaths, which was really nice, because I remember one episode I died a ton to the first boss in the Elite Dungeon 2. It really wasn't good, but this episode we did really well. No deaths at all. Also, we did have some pretty good kill times. I will say that I'm getting much better at Elite Dungeons 2. I only have about a 10 KC so far, so I am still pretty new at it, but it is getting a lot easier, and I am enjoying it so much. And as I said, we ended up completing it 3 times, so we did get some pretty decent loot. Unfortunately, we didn't get a unique drop, but we did make some pretty good money and also got tons of Slayer XP. So as you can see, the total loot chest for Elite Dungeons 2 is worth around 13.7 mil. I haven't reset it since I did Elite Dungeons 2 for other Dragon Cluster tasks. So overall, this task, we ended up making around 11 mil. I did keep track of sort of what the chest was at before I started the Elite Dungeons, and then I also estimated the drops I got from the bosses. We made right around 11 mil, so pretty good there, and also the Slayer XP, just phenomenal, 900,000 Slayer XP, and it took roughly an hour and a half to complete the 3 runs. Now moving on to our next task, since I got a taste of bossing, I wanted to go ahead and do a Reaper task. It's been a while since I've done one of these. So we ended up getting a Queen Black Dragon task, sort of a pretty average Reaper, but it's a pretty quick one and easy as well. So we ended up doing some QBD. I used to like this boss, but I did find it a bit annoying this time. The kill times were pretty average, minute 30, 2 minutes. So it was alright. It's just, I find the loot from QBD really, really bad now. It's always consistent, but it's like consistently bad, You're getting around 200k per chest, and it's not really anything special. Anyway, for the 8 kills, I made around 1 mil, so you can see the average per chest really isn't that great. We also got 15 Reaper points, so that is probably the best thing about this task. Now moving on to our next task, we end up getting the option between Lost Grove creatures or a demon task. It took me a while to decide, but I realized demon task is a really good task. It's a cluster task, and I get the option between Abyssal Demons, Ripper Demons, I could even do Krill. So there are a lot of good options, and I even decided to remove Vileblooms from the prefer list and add demons to it. I do want to do a lot more Ripper Demons in the future, so that is now on the preferred list. I'm really going to like that a lot. But rather than doing Ripper Demons for this task, I decided to do some more bossing. We ended up going to Krill. I have been doing a lot of Krill lately, and I also will have a loot video for Krill coming out in the next few days. I've been doing a lot of it, as I have said, and I really do enjoy it. I included it in my money making guide. It's an extremely AFK money maker, and you can get some pretty good money per hour, around 4 mil per hour, and it's a boss as well. It's sort of fun. You get to see if you get some unique drops. The magic XP is pretty solid as well, as it even looks to be around 300 to 400,000 magic XP per hour. But anyway, the task went pretty quick, around half an hour at Krill. I stayed for the full hour just to see what I would get. Unfortunately, no uniques, so that was kind of unlucky. But we ended up making around 3 mil. You can see that the Wine of Zamorak, that's very consistent money, and I really do like that, because if you don't get a unique, you still make some good money. We got 100,000 Slayer XP, so not too bad there either. Overall, it was just fun doing some more bosses. And so anyway, guys, that is it for today's episode. We did a lot more bossing than normal, and I kind of do like that. I want to do that more in the future, because I am missing bossing just from doing a lot of archaeology and just a lot of Slayers. So hopefully we can incorporate some more bossing into my Slayer tasks. That will make it a little bit more enjoyable. But anyway, as for the loot we gained in this episode, we made around 34.2 mil, so pretty good for an episode. But again, we did do some bossing, so that's probably why it's a bit higher. The Slayer XP is really great. We made around 1.8 million Slayer XP. That is really good for an episode. We're actually closing in on level 117 Slayer, about 1 million XP more, so we're definitely going to get that in the next episode. I'm planning on doing some more Slayer tasks per episode than normal. I do want to kind of make the episodes a bit longer in terms of the amount of tasks that I do. That way we won't have about 40 episodes by the time I hit 120 Slayer. So I'm going to try and do that, and also I'm really going to push to upload at least once per week for this series. I do want to just stay consistent on that, and we'll end up getting a 120 Slayer in no time. Anyway, guys, I really hope you did enjoy the video and the series in general. If you want to check out some more Road to 120 Slayer videos, I will link the playlist in the description down below. So definitely check that out if you are interested, and subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. I hope to see you in the next one, guys. Peace.